Sometimes life doesn't whisper, it roars. Sometimes the storm doesn't come from the sky, but from the people we trusted most. And sometimes, the greatest battle we'll ever fight is not against others, but against the anger growing quietly inside our own hearts. We've all been there. Life takes something precious from you, something we built with love and hope, and in that hollow space left behind, pain grows roots. Our first instinct, revenge. We dream of seeing those who hurt us fall, of making them feel the weight of the sorrow they caused. But revenge is a fire that never warms, it only burns. It doesn't heal your wound, it deepens it. This is the story of the eagle and the snake, two creatures whose paths crossed high in the mountains, and whose choices revealed a truth as old as time itself. Far above the valleys, where clouds brushed the mountain peaks and sunlight painted gold on the cliffs, lived, eagle, a symbol of freedom and strength. She soared effortlessly through the thin air, her wings slicing the sky with power and grace. Every creature of the mountain respected her, even the winds seemed to bow as she passed. But not all hearts are capable of admiration. In the shadows below, among cracks and cold stones, Snake slithered, watching her with eyes full not of wonder, but of envy. He had no wings, no sky, no song of his own. His heart twisted with jealousy each time he saw Eagle rise higher, and what jealousy cannot reach, it seeks to destroy. One bright morning, when Eagle left her nest to hunt, Snake climbed the rocks with quiet cruelty. The climb was long, dangerous, but envy gives strange strength to weak hearts. When he reached her nest, he found her eggs, the future she cherished most, and though he was not hungry, he devoured them one by one, out of pure malice. When Eagle returned, her wings froze mid-air. The nest was empty, silent, all her hopes gone. From a nearby rock, Snake hissed cruelly, "Now, you have nothing." The mountains grew still. Even the wind seemed to mourn. Eagle's cry echoed through the cliff, sharp, painful, filled with fury. The other animals watched from afar but dared not intervene. Snake was feared by many, and his venomous pride had long poisoned the mountain. Eagle's heart was torn between grief and rage. She spread her wings wide and circled the cliffs, eyes blazing with vengeance. Again and again, she struck from the sky, talons aimed at the shadow below. But every time she neared, Snake slipped into the cracks where her claws couldn't reach. Days turned into nights, and nights into weeks. Eagle's strength began to fade. Her feathers lost their shine. The fire inside her no longer gave light, it only scorched her soul, and in her exhaustion she began to see the truth. Her anger had not hurt Snake, it had fed him. It gave him power. Every time she burned with hatred, he didn't need to fight her anymore. She was destroying herself. And then, one morning, as the dawn broke through the mist, Eagle looked at the rising sun and made a choice that would change everything. Instead of chasing revenge, she chose to rise above it. She began to build again, not once, not twice, but again and again, each nest stronger than the last. And soon, her focus turned outward. She started teaching the younger birds, the ones who had lost their way, to fly, to build, to survive the storms. Where Snake spread fear, Eagle spread hope. Where he destroyed, she created. Over time, the mountain began to change. Her courage became legend. Birds from distant lands came to learn from her, to listen to her stories. Even the proudest beasts bowed in respect. Eagle was no longer just a hunter of prey. She had become a guardian of life. Her wings, once heavy with grief, now carried wisdom and peace. And though the scars in her heart remained, they no longer hurt. They glowed like gold, reminders of what she had overcome. Then came a brutal winter, the harshest the mountains had seen in decades. The sky turned to iron, the rivers froze, and food vanished. The world became silent, blanketed in snow. Snake, who had lived his life spreading fear, now found himself utterly alone. The creatures he had deceived and bullied turned their backs. His venom no longer served him. Cold and starving, he crawled weakly through the frozen stones, searching for warmth, for mercy. And there, high upon the cliff, he saw Eagle, majestic, surrounded by friends and allies, safe within her strong nest. She had more than enough to survive the storm, and when she saw Snake trembling below, she did something no one expected. She flew down and offered him shelter. Not because she had forgotten what he'd done, but because she had learned that forgiveness is the highest form of strength. Her mercy was not weakness, it was triumph. She showed him, and everyone watching, that true greatness isn't about revenge. It's about rising above the pain, and choosing light when the world gives you darkness. Snake wept silently. He realized too late that envy had robbed him of everything: companionship, peace, and joy. His cruelty had left him with nothing but emptiness, while Eagle's compassion had built her an everlasting legacy. And so, her story became a whisper carried by the wind across generations. The greatest revenge is not making others suffer, but refusing to let their cruelty make you small. Anger feels powerful, but it drains you until nothing remains. Forgiveness feels impossible, but it sets you free. Real strength is not in the strike, it's in the rebuilding, the rising, and the quiet choice to create something beautiful after loss. So the next time life tests you, when someone breaks your trust or takes what you love, remember the eagle. Don't let their venom define your story. Rebuild, rise, inspire, because revenge might make you feel strong for a moment, but resilience makes you invincible forever. And if this story touched your heart, share it with someone who's still trapped in anger. Help them spread their wings again. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that heal, uplift, and remind us that no matter how dark life gets, the sky is still waiting for you to soar.